What's up, everyone? This is Clayton Youngberg from AndroidAuthority.com, your #1 source for all things Android. Today we're going to be checking out a brand new custom ROM for the Samsung Galaxy S3. I am using the Verizon variant of the Samsung Galaxy S3, and the ROM that we're checking out today will be the Vanilla Rootbox ROM, which is Android 4.2, so hold tight. Anyways, guys, this is the lock screen, and as you guys can see, this is no longer TouchWiz influenced at all. This is all AOSP 4.2 Android. We have our custom sliders here that we can actually map out, and you can see we can just simply unlock the screen by dragging that just about anywhere around this circle. We also have our clock and our signal icons up here. New at the home screen, of course, are our home screen widgets, where we can install different clocks and all sorts of things on the home screen that I'll get into later. Of course, we can access our camera, and if many of you guys have a keen eye, you can see this is the 4.2 camera included. Now, a lot of the CyanogenMod 10.1 builds didn't include the brand new photosphere and things like that, so you weren't getting a full Android 4.2 on your Galaxy S3 with the CM 10.1 nightlies. But this, in fact, does give you the full Android 4.2 operating system. Anyways, we'll just unlock the screen. As you can see, it is AOSP Android. We aren't using an third-party launcher like Apex or Nova. This is simply the launcher that comes with the ROM. It's Trebuchet launcher. Anyways, we have our extended status bar with toggles. We can also switch those around for our notifications as usual, but we'll go ahead and go back to our toggles. As you can see, it imports our Google Plus profile pic there. We also have access to our brightness, most of our common settings like wireless networks and our mobile data. Of course, we can access our alarm clock from here as well as turn on the 4G LTE service. Anyways, guys, within the settings menu, you can see here, we'll go to About Phone, check out the basics of this ROM. As you can see, the kernel version is a CyanogenMod kernel. It has our Rootbox version, and it has our build number. Of course, this is an AOKP ROM, so our little Jelly Bean game, a little Easter egg right here is all AOKP themed with our unicorns. Anyways, we'll go back. We have our AOKP statistics that we can enable reporting, and then we have our phone status. That's all under the About Phone settings, guys. We also have our About Rootbox here, which actually tells us our Rootbox sources here, brings us to a link. It has sources in CM10 as well as AOKP. We have Rootbox support, and then of course we have all of our developers that brought us this ROM. Now let's get into the rest of it, guys. We have our developer options, of course, native with Android 4.2. USB debugging, we'll want to have that checked if we're doing anything root and ROM wise, but that's for another day. We also have all of our other developer options here. Then, of course, we have our accounts manager right here. We've got our personal settings, as usual, with location, security, language, and backup. Nothing new on device settings. Then we have DPI and tablet settings, where we can choose a pixel density per app, which is taken from the Paranoid Android ROM. You can see the CM10 influence there. We'll go ahead and go into our ROM control very quickly under our quick links. You can see we have ROM control themes, performance and device options. Under ROM control, we have our general UI options, and we can choose a custom boot animation. We can disable the boot animation altogether, custom carrier label. Anyways, what else we have here? We have our notification background, notification light. We have our status bar and navigation bar opacity, transparency. We can enable kill all button, where we can hold our back button and it'll kill the apps we are using. We can show our RAM usage in our recent apps bar. So I'll go ahead and go to that. As you guys can see, holding home brings up our recent apps as usual, and then we have a RAM manager bar up here. Okay, so other cool stuff, guys. You can see the clock's up in the right. We'll go ahead and go into our clock settings here. Go ahead and move that right into the center. You can choose the colors for the clock, the icon for the Wi-Fi, the icon for your mobile data, and your battery icon as well. Got all those options here in the ROM control. We also have performance control, where if we do have a custom kernel, we can overclock our device. As you can see, it's running at 1.5 gigs right now. Not slow, not slow. We've also got lock screen options here, where of course we can choose our lock screen wallpaper, our lock screen text color, the battery percentage. We can also have long press to unlock the lock screen, all sorts of great stuff like that. We can allow all widgets to be posted on the lock screen, which is actually pretty breakthrough. It's pretty cool. It might not work with all of your widgets, but it definitely does work with some. We'll go ahead and show you that here in a minute. We've also got our power menu options, where we can hold our power menu and it actually will give us a few different options, such as screenshot, reboot and power off. Of course, I don't have those selected, but we can choose that right there from the settings menu. We have our torch toggle, which I might enable. Torch is really nice. Also, we have a nav bar option where we can bring up a navigation bar. We'll go ahead and enable that very quickly for you guys to see. As you can see now on the bottom, we also have a Galaxy Nexus reminiscent, only because I used the Galaxy Nexus for the first ever ICS device I had. But we do have our nav bar right down here. You guys can see that it works nicely. We'll go ahead and go back into the settings and disable that. Navigation bar, disable. We can customize our nav bar. We've got different colors we can use, and different buttons and assignments for those buttons as well. You can also configure widgets for the navigation bar. Anyways, we've got our status bar toggle options right here, which is really cool because we can choose our enabled toggles and their order. Let's go ahead and check out which enabled ones that I have. I've got our brightness, settings, the usual stuff like Wi-Fi, stuff I showed you here. But of course, we can also turn our swag on when we hop up out of bed. Click the swagger button. It actually does nothing. It's just a nice little AOKP Easter egg. But, yep, guys, that is the status bar here. We can also choose our holo theming, where we can choose the holo light. And we have almost a negative different color scheme going on there. Of course, we have different LED controls here, where we can choose our LED notification light colors and things like that. Under vibrations, we can choose our own vibration pattern. We simply press record, and we can tap one out, and it will play that exact one. We can delete that because I don't want to use that. Anyways, guys, that's the settings menu for you. Let's check out some of the UI here. Go ahead and go back to the lock screen, which I was talking about, guys. Here's our lock screen, and we can simply slide left or right to open up the new widgets. We can slide all the way left and choose a new widget. So go ahead and click the add button there. We have the choices of analog clock, AOKP clock. We've got our Android clock, but no Chronos. And we have our usual widgets that we can use. Let's go ahead and check out our calendar widget here. Go ahead and select that. It'll show up there. Got all sorts of calendar things going on there. We can even expand it, and we can add more. Now let's get into the camera, guys. We'll go ahead and go there right from the lock screen. As you can see, we've loaded up our camera now, and we have our full Android 4.2 camera suite. You can see we have touch to focus. This is our capture button. It's for video and picture processing. And then we have our panorama, photosphere, and video taking options here. This is our main settings for our camera. You can see here that we can go ahead and select our front-facing camera. We've got our flash options, color and white balance, and then our full settings here. Well, anyways, guys, I absolutely love this ROM. A lot of great stuff packed in. We've got CM10 AOKP influences in there, Android 4.2. We've got our photosphere with awesome gallery feature. We can take our cool photos and share them with everybody. And, you know, you're just basically working with the brand new AOSP Android 4.2 Jelly Bean. And you gotta love that, especially if you're rocking the Verizon or carrier variants of the Samsung Galaxy S3. Go ahead and check it out today, guys. I'll include the ROM link in the description. And tell me if you like it. This is Clayton Youngberg with AndroidAuthority.com, guys, your #1 source for all things Android.